Canada's largest circulating newspaper is the Toronto Star. It devoted its entire front page yesterday to this message for the refugees: welcome to Canada. On social media, the Twitter hashtag Welcome to Canada has been trending. Just one typical tweet for you from Julie Ann Morneau saying, "So proud to be Canadian. I live in a country that is choosing compassion over fear."
Pleasure to see you. Welcome to your new home. Thank you. Welcome to Canada.
Everyone in our group has a busy job, a busy life. So in order to make sure that no one got overwhelmed in this process, we set up chair positions or coordinators for various topics. And so by setting it up in this fashion, you lessen the potential that people drift away from the group. You know, everyone's going to get really excited at the outset, but the real challenge is how do you keep people engaged in this?
We took over the house on the 20th of December and just decided to start working on it right away, getting it ready for the family. And that was Stephanie's job, and my job was to coordinate a living space that was going to be welcoming.
How amazing it was that I could care so much about a family that I'd never met, that I'd be picking out bed sheets for a room of a little girl who I had only met in my own imagination.
The most important thing that we were thinking about as we tackled the question of where will this family live is really a question of how will they move around without a vehicle. What's walkable to schools? What's walkable to a grocery store? What's walkable to a place for faith?
Set up their home as though they could move in tomorrow, or you could move in tomorrow and you could just get on with your life. Because their life has been in limbo for a few years.
And then you get to the hotel where you're going to meet them, and the world kind of stops.
So we got the phone call that Dan could go up. It wasn't until the family opened the door that they actually knew that there were people who were going to be there for them. That Dan was able to say, there's a group of people downstairs who have been waiting for you. You are wanted here. You have a home to go home to. I could hear my heart beating. And they came around the corner with their heads held high, with smiles on their face.
When they saw each one of us, I saw tears in his eyes, and he was like, I'm very thankful, I'm grateful that you guys helped out my family. That's the minimum we could do.
And Kamara's words, where she said, I never dreamed that I would have a home again. And they've been living in such turmoil for so many years that she truly didn't think they would have a proper roof over her head. She said, I came to Canada and I had no idea if there were other Muslim people here, if we would need to change, or there would be a group of people who would accept us as we were. And we even were able to drive past the mosque, and for her to see that within a few minutes of her home, that there actually is room for them to be here and be exactly who they were.
One of the easiest things to collect ahead of time is clothing. And your houses will be stuffed with used clothing. And then one day you'll wake up and you'll realize, I don't know what these people look like, I don't know what shapes they are, how tall they are. Most of that clothing will be relatively unused. And really, if you think about it from our own perspectives, you want stuff that you feel good in, so why shouldn't we want the same for them?
He said he'd had to have skinny jeans. No, skinny jeans. And it was English language that he knew, skinny jeans.
They all want to find the right job, or at least a job that can offer them food on their table at the end of the day. That being said, for the first year, your priority number one is to have a good understanding of the English language. You need to speak the language. Otherwise, it'll be hard in the long run.
The education is very important to me. Coming to here, I didn't have knowledge of grade 4, 5, and 6. So I had Miss Priester, and we're still in contact with her. She was the one that gave us the confidence to start over again. She would always tell us you're welcome here. And then she would like take us around the school and teach us new words like this is the door, this is a book. And by the time I got out of that school, I had enough confidence and enough English skills to make friends.
We as Canadians, we give some privacy to people. But I think in this situation, it's okay to dig further and ask specifically if there is something they need. There is already a lot of work done, so they might not want to ask.
Ultimately, they're very capable people. It's amazing how quickly they will learn English, how quickly they will find friends in the community. And so our job is really to make sure that they just feel that this is an environment where they can do that themselves. The real focus of this is on what happens on day 366. When in theory, the sponsorship money is now ended and this family has to survive on the money that they can earn. A real part of my job has been to help this family understand what do things cost? How far can a budget of X dollars go? And how can you stretch it? And so helping them understand what they will need to do and ensuring that they can fill a budget and that they can use it appropriately is probably one of the most important things you'll do in the first month.
So she's just a normal mom managing 4 kids and a mother-in-law, and then she has these other periods where it's this depths of heartache and guilt. Then that really is upsetting for her because it's usually her sister or her mother, and they're lonely and they miss her and they're scared that they'll never see her again. But I can't say that we can do anything, although there are efforts underway.
Once you get these people comfortable with the bus system, comfortable with the financial system, understanding how the grocery store works and what prices are, you start switching roles. At that point, it's no longer about you being a sponsor and them having been brought here, but it's the fact is you're both here and you just happen to like hanging out with each other.
Nothing stays the same. There will be a day where Syria will be free and safe again. They will remember that once our country was in a horrible situation and Canadian people helped us. Helping people, it leaves a mark, leaves like a footprint in their life. So if you can help, don't hesitate.